Be the change that you wish to see in the world. Namaskar, welcome to PT Pointers, and in this video, we will cover major headlines of the Hindu, Indian Express, and Press Information Bureau. So, without wasting any time, let's start today's discussion. And our first headline is related to Quad, which is a multilateral grouping of India, Australia, Japan, and the United States. It is aimed at cooperation for a free and open Indo-Pacific region. This grouping came together during the 2004 tsunami in the Indian Ocean region to coordinate response and assistance to countries in the region. The group met for the first time in 2007, and Quad focuses on delivering outcomes for the Indo-Pacific in response to the region's priorities and most pressing challenges, including health security, climate change, infrastructure, critical and emerging technology, cyber security, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, space, maritime security, countering disinformation and counter-terrorism. Our next headline is related to Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court, and it is in the news because a 7-judge Constitution Bench headed by Chief Justice of India is scheduled to hear a series of petitions regarding the validity of subclassification among reserved categories. Now let's know more about Constitution Bench. So friends, Article 145 subclause 3 of the Constitution deals with the rules of the court, and it provides for the setting up of a Constitution Bench, and this article says a minimum of 5 judges need to sit for deciding a case involving a substantial question of the law as to interpretation of the Constitution, or for hearing any reference under Article 143, which deals with the power of the President to consult the Supreme Court. And there are also other scenarios in which a Constitution Bench can be constituted, and these are if the 2 or 3 benches of the Supreme Court have delivered conflicting judgments on the same point of law. And next is if a latter 3 bench of the Supreme Court doubts the correctness of a judgment delivered by a former bench with much strength and decide to refer the matter to a larger bench for reconsideration of the previous judgment. And as per the legal provisions, a Constitution Bench consists of a minimum 5 judges, and the number can go up to an odd number of 7, 9, and so on. Our next headline is related to Public Examinations Prevention of Unfair Means Bill 2024, which was recently introduced in Lok Sabha, and it aims to prevent unfair means in order to bring greater transparency, fairness and credibility to the public examination system. This bill proposes a minimum 3 years imprisonment and fine up to 1 crore for persons and organizations indulging in such illegal practices. This bill is applicable to central recruitment and entrance exams conducted by the Union Public Service Commission, Staff Selection Commission, Railway Recruitment Boards, Institute of Banking Personnel Selection and National Testing Agency. Our next headline is related to Grammy Awards 2024. It is originally named Gramophone Award, and it is presented annually in the United States by Recording Academy to honor artists in the music industry for their exceptional work in a year. And the annual event to recognize musical achievements was started in 1959 to respect the performers for the year 1958. And this year, Taylor Swift won the Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards for Midnights, breaking the record for the most wins in the category with 4. And Tabla Maestro Ustad Zakir Hussain won 3 awards. Flautist Rakesh Chaurasia got 2 prizes. Singer Shankar Mahadevan, violinist Ganesh Rajgopalan, and percussionist S. Vinayakaram got 1 award. Our next headline is related to Snow Leopard, and it is in the news because Snow Leopard population assessment in India has estimated a population of 718 in Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Snow leopard's scientific name is Panthera uncea. They live in cold high mountains. They can be found in 12 countries including China, Bhutan, Nepal, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Russia and Mongolia. An IUCN Red List of threatened species classifies them as vulnerable species, and they are also included in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Our next headline is related to Annual Survey of Industries for 2020-2021 and 2021-2022, which was recently released by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And according to this survey, number of people engaged in the manufacturing sector and amount of wages earned by them bounced back in financial year 2022 after a marginal fall in financial year 21 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Our next headline is related to Abhas Trials, which were recently carried out by Defense Research and Development Organization. Abhas offers a realistic threat scenario for practice of weapon systems. It is designed for autonomous flying with the help of an autopilot indigenously made by DRDO. It has radar cross-section, visual and infrared augmentation system required for weapon practice. It also has a laptop-based ground control system with which the aircraft can be integrated, and pre-flight checks, data recording during the flight, replay after the flight, and post-flight analysis can be carried out. Our next headline is related to ULLAS, which is a centrally sponsored scheme. It is also called Nav Bharat Saksharata Karyakram or New India Literacy Program for the period of financial years 2022-2027. It is aimed to achieve the target of 100% literacy by 2030. The scheme is targeted at all non-literates of age 15 years and above. This scheme is in line with the National Education Policy 2020, and this scheme consists of 5 components, and these are foundational literacy and numeracy, critical life skills, basic education, vocational skills, and continuing education. Our next and last headline is related to black-necked crane, which are rare bird species found at high altitudes. They are listed in Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. It is also listed in Appendix 1 of CITES. An IUCN Red List of Threatened Species classifies them as near threatened species. They can be found in India, China, Bhutan, and they breed in high-altitude wetlands of the Tibetan Plateau of China and eastern Ladakh in India. So with this, let's conclude our today's discussion. Thanks for listening, and for regular updates, you can follow us on various social media platforms.